There we go. Okay, so I got that going. Let's see if I can fix this here. Adjust this a little better. Okay. So I'm going to wait a couple of seconds and then I'm going to start in. Okay. Everyone knows how these lives tend to start with me trying to fix my Kmart and everything and trying to get everything together. The Poulos house just like went into this whole huge hub. Everyone converged on the house at one time. Papa Bear and his cubs have been in and out and running around and everything, so it's a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, and I had to get on though. I had to get on because a lot of people saw my post that I put. I was very heated. My Layla rants. My Layla rants tend to be heated, as we all well know, and I wanted to explain it. I wanted to explain that rant a little more because I'm still feeling some stuff from that. I'm still feeling some stuff from that rant. I don't want to blow up anybody's spot or anything like that, but I'm going to speak in like not get too specific. I don't want to get too specific about what happened, but I found it very, very disturbing, and a lot of people found it very disturbing. So I was watching this fabulous Muslima's live. She was live on Instagram, and I have a lot of respect for her. Very wonderful Muslim woman, dynamic, brilliant, and a lot of people have a lot of respect for her. And she's an author, an entrepreneur, just really like just the total package. And she has this great personality and this great presence, and it draws people to her. So there's a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds on her live. Assalamu alaikum, Sabina. And she was talking, and while she was talking, she'd opened up her live for people if they have any questions that they want to ask her. Okay, and some people ask questions, I ask questions and stuff like that. And then it happened. And when it happened, I just got so angry and indignant. I was very curt and straight and to the point. People started asking her questions, really oversimplistic questions about the faith, okay, because she's African American. And this happens to native-born Muslims a lot. Native-born Muslims meaning, as everyone knows with the platform, NBA Muslims, African-American, Latino-American, Native American, and European American. Once it's discovered or figured out that, you're from here, you have a native-born heritage here in the United States, then a lot of times you're subject to a bunch of questions. Now, the questions, okay, may seem harmless, but they really, really are not. Okay, so the person asked, and I'll explain why in a minute. The person started asking her, are you on the Sunnah? Someone asked her, are you on the Sunnah? Then another person asked her, do you know the prophets? And I just was like, I actually typed in, don't answer that question. Do not answer those questions. Those are dumb questions, okay? And the person came back with the innocuous, there are no dumb questions. Listen. That statement, I use that statement myself. I use that statement in certain contexts, okay? I'm an educator. I homeschool my kids. So yeah, for them, there's no dumb questions. My 6-year-old can't ask me a dumb question, okay? If I open myself to we're talking about a specific topic and my students want to know, I tell them that there are no dumb questions. So ask me those questions. But if you're sitting there and you're talking about your platform and someone asks you some asinine questions, like you have to come and stand and deliver your faith to them, you have to prove your faith to them, that is very, very microaggressive, okay? And it happens a lot to NBA Muslims, okay? And now I'm going to narrow it down to the African American Muslim experience because I am an African American Muslim. There are a lot of assumptions about African American Muslims, especially one being that we're all converts. Okay, and it's like as soon as you realize that we're African American, you think we're all converts, we all are part of the Nation of Islam. Not blasting the Nation of Islam. It's just that we aren't all part of the Nation of Islam, and you get asked these questions. And when I was first Muslim, I used to answer them. Then, as I got older, I got irritated by them. Now I just simply shut them down, because what it is when you're asked that question is that you're not seeing me as a person. You're not seeing me as Layla. You're seeing me as someone that has to prove their faith to you. And I don't have to prove my faith to you. African American Muslims, European American Muslims, Native American Muslims, and Latino American Muslims don't owe people from overseas a damn thing. Okay? We don't have to prove our faith to you. We don't have to prove how long we were Muslim. We don't have to answer some kind of faith litmus test to your approval that, oh, okay, so now you're Muslim. A lot of times we know more than you because we chose this deen. Okay? We were old enough and we came to the conclusion, we learned about it and we accepted this deen. So a lot of converts, okay, and not even all Native born American Muslims are converts, like I said, but a lot of them know their faith better than you do. Okay, a lot of Muslims come over here and they learn their faith better here in the United States with Trump and Make America Great and Islamophobes and all that stuff. They still learn their faith better here than they learn in their own countries. So please do not step to us, okay, with those dumb questions, because that's exactly what they are. Don't ask me where I'm from. Don't ask me if I know Muhammad or if I make salat or if I fast in Ramadan, because guess what? I know very well that you're walking the streets in your countries. When you're walking the streets in your countries, you're not asking those people that in those Muslim countries. When you're in your little isolated Desi or Arab or Bengali, whatever community that you're in, you don't ask each other that. You don't ask people that in the masjid. You don't ask your aunties. You don't ask anybody, even people that were born here who are Desi, who are Arab, who are obviously Arab, because they make those mistakes about black Arabs, but that's a whole nother thing. You don't ask them those questions. You know who you're asking those questions? You're asking African Americans, European Americans, Latino Americans, and Native Americans. And we shouldn't have to answer them. So I'm at the point right now where I'm saying to my NBA brothers and sisters, okay, point blank, just shut it down. And that's exactly what I did. I said, do not answer that question. That's a dumb question. I'll say it twice and I'll say it a third time. Do not ask those stupid questions because they're microaggressive. You know what it's tantamount to? Asking an African American Muslim or an NBA Muslim if they know the prophets is like a non-Muslim asking a covered Muslim woman, oh, do you have to wear that in the shower? You get irritated by that. Does your husband oppress you? You get irritated by that. Do you oppress your wives? You get irritated by that when a non-Muslim is asking you that question. But then you turn around and you go to the local function and you just met this person and you ask some stupid questions. And I'll list 3. And anyone can put in the comment sections whatever ones they want to list. Where are you from? Because it's none of your business where I'm from. Okay? I don't owe an explanation to you about my origin or anything. Oh, how did you become Muslim? I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not here. My story, my story of my journey into my faith is nobody's business unless I decide I want to share it with them. That means I open up to someone that I know and I decide to tell them, not the other way around. Or I decide to write about it. Or I decide to write a book about it or something like that. Or I decide to go up on a stage and do that. But if I'm just sitting there having a cup of tea and we just meeting, it's none of your daggone business how I became Muslim. It's intrusive and it's rude. So don't ask that question either. Okay? Do not ask about, are your parents Muslim? Why aren't your parents Muslim? Or anything like that. It's like these silly questions. We don't owe our life stories to you. It's none of your business what our lives are. And if we're sitting up there and we're opening ourselves up for a very specific thing, I'm selling my book and I want to let you know more about my book. I'm training, I'm doing some training for an organization or something like that. You don't need to be asking me those questions. I don't have to prove myself to you. I don't have to prove my faith to you. If millions of Muslims walk in the streets of Egypt or Pakistan or India or anywhere else, don't have to answer that question. Why should I have to answer that question? Why should American Muslims have to answer that question? We don't owe those answers to anyone. So stop asking those stupid questions. And to American Muslims, native born American Muslims, if you're asked that question, just shut it down. Just shut it down, because you don't owe anybody an explanation of your faith, and you don't have to prove your faith to anybody at all, ever. It's between you and Allah. So just tell them, I suggested on my post to tell them to go F themselves. And I have said that. I'm not sitting up here acting like I don't say that. I'm going to be honest with you, because I find it very, very offensive for people to ask me those dumb questions. So I usually give them that kind of response. And yeah, and I take my angry black Muslim woman and I put it right here on my chest, because I don't owe you the answers to that. There are people that I've known for years who respect me enough they've never asked me those questions. Who are you to come step up at the local masjid function or at some kind of event or something and ask me those questions? Or if I'm trying to get a candy bar in the gas station, who are you? Who are you to think that you can intrude upon me at that level and that way? So you need to just stop it, okay? Let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the comment section. Assalamu alaikum.